Our next speaker today is Bukhsh, and it's about multi-criteria decision making. There's an analytical hierarchy process method applied to network prioritization. That could be kind of interesting because analytical hierarchy process is a qualitative method and could be interesting for weighting of different key performance indicators. So I welcome you. The podium is yours.
Hello everyone. Good morning everyone. My research topic is multi-criteria decision making, ASP method applied for the network bridge prioritization. So in this research work I'm trying to actually do the maintenance planning moving from object level towards the network level while using the method of multi-criteria decision making. And I'm presenting on the behalf of all the co-authors. Okay, so we all know that the bridges are the key structure of the infrastructure, transport infrastructure network. So at one point, bridges are only 2% of the whole network, while it represents the 30% of the value. And it is also, you could say that the expenses that are made on the bridges are 10 times more than the expenses that are generally made on route per kilometer. While on the other hand, we are having our bridges are exposed in the climate condition, our bridges are aging, and we are also faced with the limited budget from the government. So at one point our bridges are very important for our transport, and on the other point we are facing all of these challenges. So recently there have been a lot of bridge management system and the life cycle costing models that are actually helping us to do the maintenance planning, where we could actually use our resources in an optimized manner. And mainly most of the time when we mention the resources, we are referring to the cost. So the main idea is to actually do the bridge maintenance planning, where we could use our resources in our most optimized way. And a general definition of bridge maintenance planning is the process of deciding the scope. So where we are going to do the maintenance, it is the timing that when we should do the maintenance and how much cost we spend, and then what will be the benefits if I decide to choose that particular bridge to spend that much of cost, and what will be the benefit that I will get. But most of the time it is based on one specific bridge. So we are mostly, when we are doing the maintenance planning, we consider only one bridge, and we usually analyze it through the traditional life cycle costing models. And that mostly look like this, that we have this number of bridges, and then we see that how the cost of these bridges maintenance cost will increase through a number of years. But most of the time when we are considering these life cycle costing models, these are considering only the owner cost. So mostly we are not considering the we are not considering the environmental cost, the availability, or the other relevant factors. For example, maybe one bridge is more important for the maintenance, having some historical value, or maybe there are more traffic intensity going over that bridge as compared to another bridge. So there are more factors to consider while doing such maintenance plan, or as instead of only the owner cost. So in this research, we suggest to zoom out a bit and consider our do the maintenance planning on the network level. And this is not like we consider only one bridge or 8 bridges to do the maintenance planning, but also the bridges that are on the network, and it depends how you actually decide to further categorize these networks. But when we decide to do the maintenance planning on the network level, we are exposed with the number of different challenges. So if you are just looking at reducing the maintenance cost, but there are other performance goals that need to be accomplished. For example, there could be like we need to have maximize safety, we need to reduce the environmental impact, and so on and so on. So all of these performance goals could be, there could be number of these performance goals, and all of these performance goals could be conflicting with each other. And to represent these performance goals, we have this detailed document of performance indicators that are actually help us to quantify these performance goals in our decision-making problem or during our maintenance planning. So for example, if we have something like this and we want to do the maintenance planning of number of bridges, then this graph could go exponential, and there could be a lot of different lines going on here, and then maybe the planning is it's a bit hard to comprehend, I would say. So for this this purpose, we could use the multi-criteria decision making. What multi-criteria decision making do is like it provides us a schematic approach, systematic approach when we want to consider the multiple objectives that could be conflicting in nature. So for example, we have the limited budget versus we have the aging reliability. So at one point we want to minimize the cost but maximize the reliability. Similarly, we want to keep our network available while we need to do the maintenance, and so on and so on. There could be a lot of more conflicting objectives while doing such maintenance planning. So irrespective of the type of the method of the decision making, we could divide a process of multi-criteria decision making into 3 steps. So first we do the weighting. By weighting I mean that how we could actually quantify the performance goals. So if I say that minimize the maintenance cost or minimize the environmental impact, then how I'm going to measure this. So for this purpose we need to do the weighting. But as I already discussed here before, that not all of these performance goals are of equal importance for us. So one of the performance goals could be more important for us as compared to another performance goal. So in this, scaling is the procedure where we perform this trade-off among different performance goals, or you could say in the performance indicators. And then finally we combine all of these values and then perform the maintenance planning based on weighting and the scaling. For this purpose, there are a number of methods of multi-criteria decision making, but we start with the analytical hierarchy process because it is one of the most easiest and mostly used for this purpose. So it is simple in the 4 steps. First, we need to define that what is our objective, or what is our performance goal, and how we want, what are we actually trying to achieve while making such maintenance plan, or on what thing we are actually trying to make the decision. And once we have this, we are going to do the comparison of all the values. So we did the weighting and then are trying to do that if the value 5 is better than the value 8, considering what are your objectives. Most of the time these objectives, these cost values are reduced from 1 to 9. I will explain that how these values are compared. But then we try to normalize it from 0 to 1, so all of these values coming from different performance goals and different performance indicators to become comparable region. And then finally we present that which we should consider for the maintenance planning, or how bridges could be considered in the number of ranking order. So just to explain that the analytical hierarchy process, we consider one simple example, and we consider that our objective is to minimize the maintenance cost and minimize the downtime where we are doing the maintenance. Here there are only 5 bridges, so the results could be apparent, but if you have the number of these bridges, then mostly the results are not that apparent. So we consider the 4 performance indicators, that reliability, economy, availability, and the society. And for the criteria that how we are going to actually indicate these are the reliability levels. So it's a scorecard from 0 to 6, and 0 is the best condition and 6 is unacceptable condition. And the maintenance cost and the downtime. Downtime is the value that how much hours our bridge will not be available during the maintenance activity. The argument could also be that we could also apply the reduced speed restriction, but this is just generic number of hours that we consider. And then what is the importance of the network, which is measured in the number of cars passing through the day of this particular bridge. And all of these values are then, for these 5 bridges, we consider all of these values. So like I just mentioned before, that not all of our performance goals or performance indicators are important, have the same importance. So we try to compare each of these to another. And for this purpose, we use this fundamental scale of pairwise comparison by Sate, and it is in literature like from 1970 probably. And you measure that which thing is more important for you as compared to another. So for example, our objective is to have minimum maintenance cost and minimum downtime. And here we compare maintenance cost and downtime, then both of these have the equal importance. So I give 1 to equal importance. While for me the maintenance cost and reliability is So for example, the maintenance cost and the reliability level, we consider that most of the bridges are not in the critical condition, so mostly it's like 3 to 4. So even then the maintenance cost is more important for us compared to the reliability level of that bridge. And so on. So all of this comparison Mostly, as a result of this comparison, we get one comparison metrics that are actually considering the preference structure of decision maker. So the idea is not to actually do all the automation for the decision making and eliminate the decision maker, but the idea is to actually involve the decision maker preferences in the decision making method and do it in a systematic way. So all of this preference structure gives us a comparison matrix, and once we have this comparison matrix, we try to reduce it from 0 to 1. We try to reduce it from 0 to 1, and finally we calculate the FN vector or the simple geometric mean, which gives us the representative value of all of these bridge. So, for example, this is the comparison matrix when we do the comparison of all of these different performance indicators. When this performance matrix is reduced for the normalization, we get this value, and it is simple that you sum up the whole column and then you divide each attribute with this sum value, and then you get this normalized value. And this is that how I calculate the geometric mean, and then for each value I get the final score that is representative of its importance in the decision making model. So for the maintenance cost, I am considering the maintenance cost is more important for me, so it will have the highest score value, that is 0.37, while the traffic intensity is not so important for the decision maker at that point during the maintenance planning, so I give it a 0.06. So it is the relative importance of each of these attributes that we want to consider. So I repeated this procedure for maintenance cost, also for the downtime, for the liability level and the traffic intensity, which gives me finally this matrix that have the relative importance of each of these attributes. And by doing the matrix multiplication based on the values that I have for the attributes, multiplied by the relative importance of each of the attributes, I get the final score. So the higher is the score, the more I prefer that particular alternative for a maintenance. So here the higher score is 0.27, which is the grid C is the best one if I want to do the maintenance having the objective of minimum cost and the minimum downtime. And the result could be more descriptive as like here. So having just the simple 5 bridges, we can see that if I want to have the minimum cost and minimum downtime, then bridge 3 is the best. And we can end up having all of these ratings. So then the bridge 2 is the best if I want to have the plan of like I can do the maintenance of these 10 bridges out of these 200 bridges, then by using the analytical hierarchy process we could end up with certain ranking. We could also go and see that for each of the specific attribute what is the relative importance. So for example, if we are considering only the cost, then bridge C is the best. While if we want to do the maintenance while considering the downtime, that if we want to have the minimum downtime, then the A alternative is the best that we could see in the minimum cost and downtime. So this is just one objective that I want to have minimum cost and downtime, but for example our objective is to have the maximized condition, or we could say when we have the maximized condition or minimize the condition index having the 0 to 1. So our graph could look like this, and it is just changing the preference structure. So instead of saying that maintenance cost is more important for a decision maker could say I just want to maximize the condition, and at this moment maintenance cost is the second most important attribute for me. So our ranking could change in that way. And with this it gives us a whole ranking of considered based on the objective and the preference structure. We could all of our ranking could be different. For example, for having minimum cost and minimum downtime, our ranking look different, while for having the maximizing the condition, our ranking is quite different. Which leads me to give the conclusion. So the framework of multi-criteria decision making actually provides us good guidance on how we could implement these performance goals, while all of these performance goals or some of these performance goals could be conflicting in nature, and there would be many of them that we need to consider at one point. The problem with the analytical hierarchy process is that if I am going to compare each of the value with another value, then the comparison could grow exponentially, which is a little bit hard to handle if I have a great number of bridges to do or to do the maintenance planning. And further maintenance optimization over the network, a link between the performance indicator at object level and the goal of the network level need to be defined. We are also working on other methods of multi-criteria decision analysis. So these days I am trying to work on the multi-attribute utility theory, where there are less comparison based on one attribute, but we are working more towards considering the uncertainty values and also take into account the risk attitude of the decision maker. While the AHP does not consider any risk attitude, but it's just what is more better and what is your preference structure. So this leads me to conclude my presentation, and thank you very much.
Can you please present yourself and pose a question?
I am Nasir Mahmoud from Lebanon, and I'm assistant professor at University of Balamant. I would just like to ask you, did you check regarding the weight? Usually there's function that link those weights, whether additive, multiplicative, and so on. So, I don't know, did you check, it elicited of some experts, so did you check it, and if you check it, then you are normalizing it? I don't know, just, did you look into, they need to be a certain way that you link those weights, so you just take them and normalize them. This is what you have done, yes?
Exactly.
Yeah, but most of the time you need to have a certain function between it.
No, so for here the exercise is that you look at the attributes value, and these weights are actually provided by decision maker. Means if this is, for example, for maintenance cost of 60 and 40, the difference is 20, then how you are going to map this on the scale of 1 to 9. So this is how you reduce actual values into this scorecard of 1 to 9.
Yes, I know, but you need to have a certain function between them.
For the AHP, I don't think so, but for the utility function, yeah.
Yeah, and also I don't think that between the objective you said this one versus this one, they are not conflict, they are just two different. The conflict is like if you want to say there's a conflict between them, or it's like, for example, the downtime is could be converted into money. So this you need to be sure that the interaction between your objectives need to be less than, for example, 10%, so you could consider them as independent outcomes and so on.
Yeah, I agree. For these are not conflicting, but I agree that these are of having the different value importance.
You can check it easily by discussing with your decision maker. So it's just a certain test you make to say that this is not conflicting because...
Exactly, yeah, I agree.
Perhaps a quick question from my side. How many experts did you interview for that?
This is the illustrative exercise. So it stays with the paper that this is an illustrative example. So okay. Most of that is...
So you didn't check consistency index?
Sorry?
Consistency index you didn't check?
No.
Okay. Because that would be an issue in order to get it. Okay. Any other questions regard to other talks, or maybe then?
What do you mean about reliability level?
Sorry?
You talk about reliability level. What do you mean by this reliability level? If another indicator.
Reliability level is what is the reliability, or you could say simply the condition index of particular bridge.
What do you mean is a reliability? Because you talk about networks, no?
Yeah,
exactly. The reliability level of the network?
In the example, it's the reliability or the condition score of one object, one bridge.
So it's not reliability, it's nothing else.
No, it's
a measure of whatever.
Yeah.
So you look at connectivity between bridges and links and things like this or not? Because you talk about networks. So.
At the moment, it is mostly about the number of bridges, and I'm not considering all the bridges of all the network at the moment, but the reliability could include more than the condition index, but here in this example, it is only the condition index, but we are, yeah.
Any other questions? We have some time. We're actually ahead of the schedule. So if anybody would like to pose a question in regard to other speakers. It seems not to be the case. Everybody needs a coffee. So I'll close this part of the session and we'll see each other in 10:30. Thank you.